Go right in. We'll call you when it's your turn.
Thank you.
No, this makes the day perfect.
I'm not going to fight with you.
Really? No, Jason is the one with the fight on his hands. And I can't help wondering when this day is over, who is going to end up hurting him the most. So, is Lucky going to be in court?
I don't know. We didn't talk about it.
Gee, I wonder why.
If you don't mind.
It's a direct feed from the courtroom. So what are you going to say on the stand?
Depends on what they ask me.
Like, about your relationship with Jason.
I'm going to be honest.
Good for you.
Well, aren't you?
Well, the truth could be a problem. Especially in this case, I was on the inside. I know a lot about Jason's work. If I tell the truth, that could be Jason's worst nightmare.
I can't believe that things went so wrong between the two of you that you would be willing to hurt the man who has given you so much.
Are you ready to call your first witness?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. The prosecution calls Samantha McCall. Miss McCall, you lived with the defendant for how long?
A little over 3 years.
May we assume that you knew Jason Morgan and his lifestyle intimately then?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Would you consider Jason Morgan to be a dangerous man?
Objection. Your Honor, this calls for a conclusion beyond the witness's qualifications.
Sustained.
Does Mr. Morgan keep any guns in his house?
Yes.
How many?
I'm not sure.
About a ballpark figure.
Objection. Asked and answered, Your Honor. She's not sure.
Overruled. Rephrased, Mr. Lansing.
Yes, Your Honor. To the best of your knowledge, Miss McCall, does Mr. Morgan own less than 3 guns?
No.
More than 5?
Yes.
Well, it's pretty much an arsenal.
Objection, Your Honor. The DA is stating his personal opinion, not a fact.
Sustained. The jury will disregard the DA's last remark.
Miss McCall, to the best of your knowledge, has Mr. Morgan ever taken any of his more than 5 guns out and used them to shoot people?
He's taken them out of the house, but I have no idea.
Have you ever seen him shoot and kill anyone with any of those weapons?
Yeah, I have.
So how many
but it was
people
all...
actually have you seen Mr. Morgan shoot and kill in the time that you've known him? Less than 3, more than 5?
More than 5.
Well, that averages out to about 1.25 victims per year that you've known him.
Objection!
Sustained.
Have you ever been shot, Miss McCall?
Yes.
By Mr. Morgan?
No.
By who?
Manny Ruiz.
And what was his motive?
He wanted revenge on Jason.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Have you ever had to use a gun while in the company of Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Is Mr. Morgan's closest friend the reputed crime boss, Michael Corinthos Jr., better known as Sonny Corinthos?
Yes.
The same Sonny Corinthos who was on trial for shooting Lorenzo Alcazar.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Corinthos is not on trial here today, and Mr. Alcazar apparently wasn't dead in any of those cases either.
Sustained. Careful, Mr. Lansing. Get to where you're going.
Yes, Your Honor. Is it not true that Mr. Morgan has been a long-standing employee of Mr. Corinthos?
Your Honor, the defense stipulates a working relationship. Mr. Corinthos and Mr. Morgan are partners in a coffee business.
All right, then, fine. Let's review, Miss McCall. In your experience of living with Mr. Morgan, you've known him to be a man who owns more than 5 guns, which he has used to shoot more than 5 people. Again, I have to ask you, Miss McCall, would that make Mr. Morgan a more dangerous man than someone who simply imports coffee beans?
Ms. McCall, during the time that you lived with Mr. Morgan, did you contribute financially to the household?
Not originally. But
In point of fact, Jason Morgan has supported you for most of the time that you have been together.
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant.
Your Honor, the prosecution has essentially presented Miss McCall as a character witness. I think it only fair to determine her character.
I'll allow it. You may answer.
we did have an agreement.
Did you believe the two of you would get married?
We were engaged.
Oh, and are you still engaged?
No.
No, but you continue to live in Mr. Morgan's house while he's been incarcerated.
It was our home.
Yes, I'm sure this is all terribly distressing for you. The shooting incident that the prosecution mentioned, in which you were involved, that left you unable to have children, did it not?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Have you and the district attorney ever had intimate relations?
Objection, Your Honor.
This goes directly to the prosecution's motive for bringing these charges in the first place, Your Honor.
I'll allow it, but be careful.
Have you and District Attorney Rick Lansing ever had sexual relations?
Yes.
And wasn't the district attorney married to your mother at the time?
Yes.
And then you go running back to Jason Morgan so he can continue to financially support you, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So both you and the district attorney have a personal bias against my client. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Strike that. These guns that Jason Morgan allegedly has in his home, do you know if he has licenses for them?
Yes.
And the 5 or more people that Jason allegedly shot, were any of those, to the best of your knowledge, in self-defense?
Absolutely.
In point of fact, they were all in self-defense,
yes,
weren't they? There wasn't a mob hit in the bunch.
That is correct.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect, Mr. Lansing.
I reserve the right to recall the witness, Your
You're
Honor.
excused, Miss McCall. Next witness, Mr. Lansing.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to submit evidence in the form of a video shot during the prisoner's transfer from Pentonville.
I object.
They told me this was a holding room.
It is. For witnesses. How are you?
I'm okay.
There's a TV. I could see the cord. I heard Sam.
Sam told the truth. And that's what you have to do, too. You know what helps me through this is, just thinking about Jake. About how I held him right after he was born, and I was just so worried about the both of you, and he woke up, and I was able to put our son in your arms.
It reminds me that things can work out.
I know what I have to protect.
Morgan, let's go. Wrong room.
I'm sorry. You're Kate Howard.
Don't be sorry.
I just recently read an article about your patronage of the arts. MoMA, especially. I try to get there every time I'm in the city.
It's a beautiful museum.
I wanted to be an artist, but then my son and I had to eat, so now I'm a nurse.
Well, that's a noble profession. I know it's none of my business, but why would a nurse and mother be testifying at a murder trial?
I know, Jason.
I know, Sonny. I was with him when he allegedly called in the hit on this Alcazar person.
Oh, well, Jason was with me when he allegedly got the call. Jason doesn't deserve this. I just wish I could get up on that stand and say something that'll help him.
You wouldn't perjure yourself for this man, would you?
I did what I could, but the judge made his decision and it just didn't go our way. jury starts playing, do not look at the monitor. I do not want the jury to measure your reactions.
The jury's about to see Jason Morgan shoot 3 people in vivid color.
I'm impressed.
You watch their faces. By the time the footage is over, they're going to see Jason Morgan for who he really is. Cold-blooded killer.
The jury is about to see Jason as a perfect killing machine.
At the next general hospital.
My client was the victim here.
I don't know how I'm going to testify against him.
Mr. Morgan reacted with the precision of a cold-blooded killer.
It only gets better from here.
The state calls Elizabeth Spencer.